Look at Africa's borders. They're perfectly straight. No river follows them. No mountain shaped them. These lines were drawn by someone who never stood on this land. It happened in one night. 1884, Berlin. 14 European men divided an entire continent, and no African was in the room. November 1884. Bismarck invited 14 European nations to Berlin. The agenda: divide Africa among themselves. Not a single African nation was invited. Europeans controlled 10% of Africa before the conference. 3 months later, they claimed 90%. On paper, with straight lines. They used rulers because they had no accurate maps. Straight lines were easier to draw than understand what lay beneath them. Africa had over 10,000 distinct political entities before colonization. The Berlin lines cut through more than 1,000 of them overnight. The Somali people were split across 5 colonies, the Tuareg across 6 countries, entire civilizations divided by a ruler and a pen. That Maasai border became Kenya-Tanzania. It still exists. Today, the Maasai need a passport to visit their own ancestral land. Between 1956 and 1975, nearly every African colony gained independence, but they inherited the same borders, the same straight lines drawn in Berlin. In 1963, the OAU made a fateful decision: keep all colonial borders intact. They kept the very lines that were already causing endless war. Nigeria was handed a border containing 250 ethnic groups, 500 languages, 3 major religions, by men who believed Africans had no meaningful distinctions at all. Africa has more active armed conflicts than any other continent. Researchers trace most of them directly to borders that placed rival groups inside the same artificial state. The Rwandan genocide killed 800,000 people in 100 days. The colonial border that locked Hutu and Tutsi into one country was not an accident. The DRC is the size of Western Europe, 200 ethnic groups forced into one state. It has been in some form of conflict for 60 consecutive years. The solution seems obvious: redraw the borders, but there is no map that makes everyone whole. The damage is too deep, too layered, too old. South Sudan became the world's newest country in 2011. Within 2 years, it descended into civil war along its own internal ethnic lines. The straight lines cannot be undrawn, but understanding who drew them and why is the first step to understanding every crisis Africa faces today. The most dangerous borders on Earth weren't built to protect people. They were drawn to divide resources by by men in suits, far from the consequences.